For hundreds of years, royal weddings have been a symbol of power, status, and ultimate luxury. They are not only the marriage of two people, but also a national event, where traditions, rituals, and the image of the royal family are displayed to the world. In British history, there have been many weddings that have attracted millions of people to watch live on television, or pack the streets of London to witness the moment the royal couple stepped into the carriage. Today, we take a look back at the 5 most lavish weddings in British royal history, events that have become legendary. The wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton, 2011. On April 29, 2011, the world seemed to hold its breath to watch one of the most anticipated weddings of the century, the marriage of Prince William, the eldest son of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, to Kate Middleton, the commoner who had once made the heart of England flutter. From very early on, the streets around Westminster Abbey, where the ceremony took place, were filled with flags and flowers. People lined up for miles to catch a glimpse of the royal carriage rolling. The festive atmosphere enveloped the whole of England, and billions of people around the world turned their eyes to London through live television screens. Westminster Abbey is not only a sacred place in British history, witnessing the coronation of 38 monarchs, but also a symbol of the continuity of royal tradition through many generations. Choosing this place for William and Kate's wedding is seen as an affirmation that the prince, the future heir to the throne, is continuing the fairy tale that his mother, Princess Diana, left in the hearts of the public. The moment Kate Middleton walked down the aisle in the most anticipated wedding dress in the world made millions of people admire. The dress was designed by Sarah Burton, creative director of the Alexander McQueen brand, with a royal style with long lace sleeves, delicate cuts, and a skirt that stretched nearly 3 meters. It was the perfect combination of classic beauty and modern spirit, showing the image of an elegant, confident, and simple princess, just like how Kate conquered the hearts of the British people. This dress is estimated to cost more than £400,000 and quickly became one of the most iconic wedding dresses in the history of world fashion. Besides the couple's splendor, the scale of the wedding also overwhelmed the world. About 5,000 police officers were deployed throughout central London to ensure absolute security. Hundreds of cameras were installed. Thousands of reporters from all over flocked to cover every smallest detail. The total cost of the wedding was estimated at £30 million, most of which was spent on security and event organization. A figure that showed the scale of a ceremony not only for the royal family, but for the whole of Britain. After the solemn ceremony, William and Kate left Westminster Abbey in a classic golden carriage, amid the resounding cheers of the crowd pouring into the streets. All eyes turned to Buckingham Palace, where the most awaited moment took place, the first kiss on the royal balcony. That moment, simple but full of emotion, has become a symbol of a modern-day royal love, lasting, close, and sincere. William and Kate's wedding was not only a lavish event, but also a symbol of innovation in the British royal family, when an ordinary girl could enter the royal palace with true love, not aristocratic blood. And since that day, the image of this couple has become a representative of a younger royal family, closer to the people, bringing Britain not only pride, but also inspiration for a modern love story in the fairy tale era. The wedding of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, 1947. In 1947, Europe was still bearing the scars of World War II. Britain was in the midst of recovery, and everything was scarce, from food, cloth, to fuel. In the midst of this difficult situation, the wedding of Princess Elizabeth, who would later become Queen Elizabeth II, and Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark became a beacon of hope for the entire nation. The ceremony took place on November 20th, 1947 at Westminster Abbey, which is considered the sacred heart of British royal ceremonies. More than 2,000 distinguished guests attended, while millions of people across Britain and around the world listened to the ceremony on radio, the most popular medium at the time. Although there was no live television broadcast, the event's influence was still enormous, bringing a sense of warmth and pride to the people in the difficult post-war period. Elizabeth's legendary wedding dress was designed by designer Norman Hartnell, who had served many generations of royals. The dress was made of pure white silk, embellished with 10,000 pearls imported from the U.S., along with sophisticated embroidery inspired by Primavera, a famous painting symbolizing spring and rebirth. However, what made the dress special was not its material value, but its spiritual meaning. At that time, England was still applying the rationing system due to the post-war crisis, and even Princess Elizabeth had to use her own rationing stamps to buy fabric for her wedding dress. People across the country even sent their ration cards to the princess as a gesture of love and support, but she politely declined to ensure fairness for all. The royal carriage, the guards in traditional red robes, and the ceremony at Westminster were solemn, imbued with the spirit of British royalty. Although not as lavish as 21st century weddings, the 1947 wedding contained a simple, elegant, and sacred beauty, reflecting the spirit of the times, where resilience and faith were placed first. After the ceremony, Princess Elizabeth and Prince Philip appeared on the balcony of Buckingham Palace, waving to the tens of thousands of cheering people below. That image, a young girl in a white dress next to the man she loved, became a symbol of joy and national unity after years of darkness. Their marriage lasted 73 years until Prince Philip passed away in 2021. Through the ups and downs of time and history, Elizabeth and Philip have always been together, a living testament to the love, loyalty, and sustainability of the British royal family. The wedding in 1947 not only opened a new dynasty, but also became the most beautiful chapter in the love story of the British royal family, where true love shines even in the most difficult times. The wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, 2018. On May 19, 2018, the eyes of the world turned to St. George's Chapel, located in the grounds of the ancient Windsor Castle, to witness one of the most iconic weddings of the 21st century, the marriage of Prince Harry, the youngest son of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, to Meghan Markle, the American actress who became famous for the series Suits. This was not just a royal wedding, but a symbol of innovation and integration of modern Britain. In the context of the British royal family, which is famous for its classical rituals, the appearance of Meghan, an American woman, divorced, of mixed race, made this wedding a symbol of change. It showed that the British royal family was ready to enter a new era where love, respect, and equality were put first. The ceremony took place in front of about 600 guests, including many famous faces of Hollywood and politics such as George and Amal Clooney, Oprah Winfrey, Serena Williams, Idris Elba. Outside, more than 100,000 people flocked to Windsor, queuing for hours just to see the royal couple parade in a horse-drawn carriage. Around the world, hundreds of millions of people watched live on television and the internet, a number that shows the huge attraction of this event. Meghan Markle entered the chapel in a minimalist yet elegant wedding dress designed by Claire Waite Keller, creative director of Givenchy. Not fussy, no crystals or complicated lace. The dress has a delicate, gentle but powerful beauty, reflecting Meghan's modern spirit and bravery. The dress was estimated to have cost $100,000, and the 16-foot-long veil was meticulously hand-embroidered with floral emblems from the 53 Commonwealth countries. A significant nod to unity and multiculturalism. The wedding cost over $32 million, much of which was spent on security. Thousands of police officers were deployed, helicopters were kept overhead, and Windsor was cordoned off for days before the ceremony, all to ensure the event was watched by the world. What made this wedding truly memorable was not its scale or cost, but its distinctive spirit. From the gospel song Stand By Me, performed by a black choir, to the emotional speech by Reverend Michael Curry, every detail reflected the blend of British tradition and contemporary African-American culture. No longer a dry ceremony, Harry and Meghan's wedding was warm, intimate, and full of human energy. When Harry and Meghan left St. George's Chapel in an open-top carriage, the cheers of thousands of people echoed throughout the grounds of Windsor Castle. That image, a British prince and a mixed-race woman, hand in hand amid the ringing of bells, has become a symbol of the change of the British royal family in the era of globalization. Although their marriage later went through many ups and downs, the 2018 wedding will always be remembered as a historic turning point, where the British royal family for the first time spoke out strongly about diversity, openness, and love that transcends all boundaries. The wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, 1981. On July 29, 1981, the world stopped to look to London, where the greatest fairy tale wedding of the 20th century took place. The marriage of Prince Charles, heir to the British throne, and Diana Spencer, a 19-year-old girl from a long-standing aristocratic family who had never been in the public eye. The ceremony was held at St. Paul's Cathedral, one of London's most sacred and magnificent buildings. Nearly 3,500 prestigious guests were present in person, including heads of state, members of royal families from across Europe, and British aristocrats. But what made this wedding a global event was the number of more than 750 million television viewers around the world, an unprecedented record at the time, making it the most watched ceremony in modern history. When Diana Spencer stepped down from the royal carriage, the world held its breath. She appeared in a legendary wedding dress designed by David and Elizabeth Emanuel, a magnificent work of ivory taffeta, hand-embroidered lace, and over 10,000 pearls. The 7.6-meter train, the longest in British royal history, dragged down the steps of St. Paul's Cathedral, creating a scene that to this day is still considered a symbol of Diana's pure and dreamy beauty. Not only the dress, but also the 12-carat blue sapphire engagement ring, surrounded by 14 diamonds, became legendary. This is the ring that Prince William later used to propose to Kate Middleton, as a way to continue his mother's legacy of love. The entire wedding cost an estimated $48 million, equivalent to over $150 million in today's prices, a huge figure reflecting the scale and influence of the event. Thousands of police were mobilized, dozens of horse-drawn carriages, parades, and millions of people poured into the streets of London to cheer, wave flags, and throw flowers to bless the couple. On screen, Diana Spencer appeared like a princess in a fairy tale, with a shy smile, innocent eyes, and a gentle appearance that melted millions of hearts. The press called this a dream wedding, and the people believed they were witnessing a true love story between a prince and a commoner, a symbol of hope and happiness in the new era. However, after that day's brilliant halo, the marriage between Charles and Diana gradually turned into a sad chapter, with conflicts, distance, and pressure from the royal family, causing the seemingly perfect love to gradually crack. However, the 1981 wedding will forever be remembered as a symbol of a glorious era where the whole world believed in fairy tale love, and where Diana Spencer officially entered history as the people's princess. The wedding of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, 1840. More than a century before the world fell in love with royal brides, like Diana or Kate Middleton, Queen Victoria was the one who laid the foundations for the royal wedding tradition, and even created the trend of the white wedding dress, which to this day remains a timeless symbol of love and purity. On 10 February 1840, Princess Victoria, then 20 years old and just 2 years into her reign, married Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha at St. James's Palace in London. Although held within the palace grounds, it was the first royal wedding in British history to be widely watched by the public, with thousands of people gathering outside to watch the carriages pass, cheering and cheering for the young queen. What made Victoria's wedding so revolutionary was her choice of a pure white wedding dress, something that was unheard of at the time. Before Victoria, royal brides usually wore gold, silver, or red dresses, symbolizing power and prosperity. But Victoria went against tradition, choosing a pure white silk dress designed by British artisans, embroidered with extremely delicate lace in Honiton, Devon. She did not wear a diamond tiara like other queens, but instead wore a small orange blossom crown, a symbol of love, fidelity, and lasting marriage. This simple yet symbolic decision touched the hearts of the British people, making the image of Victoria in a white dress a symbol of sincere and pure love, an image ahead of its time. Although the ceremony took place in the 19th century, it was still considered the most lavish and sophisticated at that time. The palace was lavishly decorated with fresh flowers. The royal orchestra played music composed especially for this important occasion, and celebrations were held all over England. The Queen's wedding day was declared a national holiday, turning this event into a common joy for the whole kingdom. The marriage between Victoria and Albert was not only a political alliance, but also a sincere and deep love. The two were closely attached for 21 years, until Prince Albert passed away at the age of 42. His death left Queen Victoria so heartbroken that she wore mourning clothes for the rest of her life, a testament to a rare lasting love in the royal family. The influence of this wedding lasted for more than 180 years, shaping the entire wedding style in Europe and the world. From then on, white wedding dresses became the standard for all brides, and the image of a princess in a white dress next to a prince became an eternal dream in Western culture. Queen Victoria's wedding was not only the beginning of a glorious reign, but also a timeless cultural icon where love and tradition blended to create a legend. A legend that every other royal wedding has followed to this day.